I'm Victoria and this is What Victoria Read. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 8th of May and I haven't yet opened this vlog because I am in a really bad creating slump. I said on Instagram that I was in a reading slump as well, but it wasn't quite true. You can see the 6 Tudor Queens books there. Because I have been reading a little bit, I've just been reading less than normal and haven't felt like reading. But in terms of creating, I have just not felt like it. So I filmed a few clips and things that you've just seen in the B-roll, but I just haven't felt like being on camera. And by the time this goes up, I would have, hopefully, I'm hoping to have put up my June TBR as a minimum, but I'm just not feeling like putting up content at the moment. It's really weird. I'm just really tired, I think, and I had loads of lovely messages on Instagram when I mentioned it and people pointing out that like I've just got over COVID and this is one of the busiest points in the teaching year because term 5 is really short, which is great obviously because the holidays are close together, but also like there's so much that has to happen in that time. It's all just got a bit stressful. And also we're now kind of back to pre-pandemic levels of stuff to do at weekends. So like seeing friends and family and going out and all of that stuff, which means that I'm finding it harder to fit everything in. And yeah, just feel a bit weird. I've also, you know, opening this vlog with absolutely mad hair and my cat t-shirt on again. But, you know, if you watch my videos, this is what you get. So yeah. I'm just feeling a bit weird and a bit disconnected from Booktube. I think that's partly also because instead of watching Booktube, which is what I usually do with like any downtime I've got, or like when I'm like doing chores and stuff around the house, I'll have Booktube on. I've been watching Heart Stuff on repeat, which I don't regret, and also Selling Sunset, which I also don't regret. So today is Sunday, and whilst I get my chores done, I'm gonna put some Booktube on and help in the hope that that will like re-energize me and make me want to make content. So yes, okay, I do have books to talk about. I got 2 books I finished, and then I have 7 books that have come into my possession this week because I clearly have no restraint anymore when it comes to buying books. I'm also apparently mood reading, so there's that. Anyway, I've also got really good hay fever, so all in all, good time to be filming. Well done. So the first book that I finished this month is I Heart New York by Lindsay Kelk. This was recommended to me by Aoife at Pretty Purple Polka Dots ages ago, and I put it on my wish list, and then it was sent to me for my birthday by Millie, so thank you so much, Millie, for sending this to me. This is not my usual kind of thing. I really enjoyed it. It's about, oh my gosh, what's her name? Angela, who at her best friend's wedding finds her fiance having sex with another girl in their car, and instead of dealing with that situation, she runs away to New York, is basically the premise of this. And I'm not gonna lie, I had quite low expectations. Because it's not really my kind of thing, and I was like, okay, but I read it on audiobook and just really enjoyed it. I've given it 4 stars. It's not perfect, obviously, otherwise I'd have given it 5 stars. There are some problematic things in it, and it was published in 2009, which is what I was just checking, and the diet culture is strong in this. She's constantly talking about her weight, especially at the beginning. There's a scene where like somebody mistakes her for a lesbian and she's really like defensive about that. So there's a few things in this that were a bit like stone in my shoe annoying. And you know, it's not aged brilliantly. However, I came to really care about Angela, and it's very much found family, and I love found family, which I think is why Aoife recommended it to me in the first place. And I enjoyed it enough that I've downloaded the second one, which is I Heart Hollywood, on audiobook to listen to at some point. It was kind of, you know, fun easy listening, easy reading. It made me laugh out loud a few times. Some of the stuff she does is ridiculous. You have to kind of leave your reality at the door, because some of this is just like, that is not what would happen. But it was fun nonetheless, and yeah, really enjoyed that. So thank you, Eva, and thank you, Millie. That was a 4-star read for me. And then last night I finished, oh, it's stuck to something else, this one. So this is Catherine Howard, The Tainted Queen by Alison Weir. These ones are just waiting to go on my shelf. This one will join it at the end of the month. I thoroughly enjoyed this. So this was a 5-star read for me. And one of the things that I'm loving about this series is it's making me see the queens differently than I had previously. For anyone who's not aware, I will link April's reading vlog in the description, because I got completely obsessed with this series and read the first 4. And this is obviously book number 5. I have read loads about Henry VIII and his queens, including Alison Weir's non-fiction works. She wrote The 6 Wives of Henry VIII, which I would highly recommend. And Catherine Howard is typically seen as the whore, basically, of the 6 queens. She is seen as someone who was really light and stupid compared to the other queens. She wasn't as educated as them, and she only lived for nice dresses, and she kind of fooled the king and slept with half the court. That is always the kind of image that's given of her, which isn't entirely truthful. And what I loved about this, as I've loved with all of this series, is how Alison Weir makes her sympathetic. She makes her understandable. She makes the decisions that she made understandable. And it's that reminder that she was 19 when she married the king-ish, because we don't know her exact birth date, but, you know, she was 19. And she didn't have the family support that the other queens had. She hadn't had the education the others had, so she didn't really know what she was doing in terms of legalities and all of that kind of stuff. And she was a scapegoat for a lot of things that had happened around her. And yeah, it was heartbreaking, because obviously I knew how it was going to end. The last few scenes were actually really hard to read, and I just loved it. I love this series. So yeah, that was a 5-star. This whole series has either been a 4 or 5-star. And once I've read the 6th one, which, under that lamp, it's just there waiting for me, I am going to do a ranking video. At the moment, this is in 2nd place behind Jane Seymour. So yes, really enjoyed that. Then I've acquired some books. So I was sent a lovely gift parcel by a friend. I was sent probably the best swag parcel I've ever been sent by a publisher, which arrived yesterday, and I opened it to much squealing. And then I bought myself some books. So the absolutely wonderful Marianne from Copper Books contacted me on Instagram and said that she'd won a giveaway, I think, and been sent 2 copies of this, Things We Say in the Dark by Kirsty Logan. And she was like, do you want the other one? And I was like, yes, please. Yeah, I think it's a short story collection. Yes, these dark tales explore women's fears with electrifying honesty and invention, and speak to one another about female bodies, domestic claustrophobia, desire and violence. So I think this is going to be really interesting, and it looks like really short stories, like flash fiction. So I'm really excited for this. It's also got a very cool cover. I don't know if this is a Persephone reference or not. I guess we'll find out once we read it. But she wrapped the book. She wrapped like the parcels and stuff, and she used this beautiful ribbon which has got I Love Books. And I kind of wish I had longer hair now, because I feel like I would definitely wear it in my hair, but I'm gonna definitely find something to do with this, because that's really cute. And she also sent me, first of all, this, which is really cute. That's gonna go up on my classroom door where I put postcards, and some Maltesers, which will not last a day, I don't think. I'm surprised they've lasted this long, quite honestly. So there was that lovely parcel. Let's do books I bought myself. So I will link in the description my Explore Bath With Me video, which I filmed last Sunday. Very different video from me, for me, and at the time of filming this clip, it's just gone live, so I've not looked yet to see if people have watched it and what they think. I really hope you guys like it. I loved filming it. It was very much inspired by Claire and Shannon, and yes, it's nowhere near as like swish as they do it, but I had a go. But whilst I was in town, I bought myself some books. So let's do it in order that I bought them. Sorry, I've still got a bit of the COVID cough. So whilst I was in Waterstones, I picked up 2 books I wanted to read for ages. The first is Cunning Women by Elizabeth Leigh. Can we just enjoy this cover? It's beautiful. I don't know loads about it. I've not really read the back. But it just says, when women are cast out, they must find their own power. And I was like, yeah, it's been on my wish list for ages. I think it's just come out in paperback. and it's Lancashire 1620. Young Sarah Howarth and her family live as outcasts. They are cunning folk, feared by local villagers by day, but called upon under cover of darkness for healing balms and spells. Against the odds, love blossoms when Sarah meets Daniel, the local farmer's son. But when a new magistrate arrives to investigate a spate of strange deaths, his gaze inevitably turns to Sarah and her family. In a world where cunning women are forced into darkness by powerful men, can Sarah reckon with her fate to protect all she holds dear? And it's a debut, so I'm really excited for that one. And then one that I've wanted to read for ages, and I can't remember who recommended this. I think it might have been Jean, or somebody recommended it when I read Madam, which I really enjoyed last year, and I think this is like similar vibes. This is The Mad Women's Ball by Victoria Mass, and oh, it's going to be an Amazon Prime film, how exciting. And it's the something asylum, it's a French asylum in Paris. All of Paris is enthralled to Dr. Charcot and his displays of hypnotism on women who have been deemed mad or hysterical. But the truth is more complicated. These women are often inconvenient, unwanted wives or strong-willed daughters. Once a year, a grand event is held, the Mad Women's Ball. For the Parisian elite, it is the highlight of the social season. For the women themselves, it's a rare moment of hope. Genevieve is a senior nurse who has placed her faith in Dr. Charcot and his new science. But everything changes when she meets Eugenie, the daughter of a bourgeois family. For Eugenie has a secret and she needs Genevieve's help. Their fates will collide on the night of the Mad Women's Ball, and it just looks really intriguing. Also another stunning cover, and it's really short. I didn't expect it to be this short. So yeah, I feel like, gosh, this is really short. It's like just over 200 pages. I feel like I might read this month. I feel really, you know, sometimes you pick a book up and you're like, oh, I think this is for me. So I think that's for me. We'll find out. And then I went to the New Toppings building in Bath. It's absolutely stunning. I will link my video because the noise that came out of me when I walked in through the doors, it was, yeah, slightly embarrassing. And I definitely wanted to buy a book in there as like my first trip to Toppings souvenir of the new building. So I picked up The Ophelia Girls by Jane Healy. This was one of my favourite books of last year. I was lucky enough to get an ARC from Book Break, and I don't keep ARCs on my shelves for some weird reason. I just don't like having them on my shelves. So when I saw this and it's signed, I just thought it's a beautiful finished copy. It's such a stunning cover, and it's signed by the author. So I was like, yeah, I will have that signature. I will have that as my little souvenir of being in Toppings. Now I can't get the sleevey thing back on. Yeah. So yeah, I got that one. And then yesterday we went and saw my grandma in the morning and put together some furniture for her, and then we went to Wells in the afternoon because Gary had an eye appointment, and whilst he was in the opticians I was like, I'm just going to pop into the Oxfam shop. Big mistake. I very rarely find books in charity shops that I want to read, but I found two, but I only paid £5 for both, so I'm kind of happy with this. So I've got Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger. She wrote The Time Traveller's Wife, which is one of my favourite books of all time. I know it could be quite a Marmite book, it's quite controversial in some ways, but I thoroughly enjoyed that book and I love it every time I reread it, and I loved it so much I've actually never read anything else by her because I was afraid I wouldn't like it. But I saw this and I thought, let's just give this a go. It's about twins and family and stuff, and it's called Dark and Delicious on the front. And for me, like, this is a kind of like summer read, summer holiday, read it in 2 days kind of thing. So yeah, I was quite happy to find that. And then I found Anxious People by Fredrik Bachmann, which I think came out like last year, and this is like, the spine's not cracked, it's in pretty good condition. I've seen so many people read and rave about this. I think the last person I saw really rave about it is Aoife from Words of Clover. And I just thought I'd give this a try. I've not read a Fredrik Bachmann before, and I saw it in good condition and I was like, I'll have that, £2.50, thank you very much. And then I got, like I said, probably the best like swag parcel I've ever had from a publisher arrived yesterday, and I am always super happy and excited when I get sent books, like, do not get me wrong, but it's very rare that I get swag. So Canongate contacted me last week and said, do you want a copy of this book, which I'll show you in a second, and it comes with a comfort package. And I was like, okay. The book was one that I wanted to read, it's an author I've not read before, so I was like, yes please. And then this arrived. Ooh. Let's do it without showing you my address on the internet, and let's do it this way. Like, what? So I'm going to very quickly show you because I've already been speaking for like 13 minutes. So they sent me 2 teas. So we've got Love, which is cute, and lemon, ginger and manuka honey. I think that's how you say that. They also sent me a calm atmosphere mist. So this is to like spray on your pillow at night, and it's got lavender, bergamot, ylang ylang, rosemary and frankincense. So that's super cute. They sent me the most beautiful mug. Like, how pleasing is that? And we all know I don't drink hot drinks, but this I will definitely start drinking. Maybe I'll just start drinking hot drinks because this is so beautiful and like nice to hold. They sent me a lavender soy candle, which is very cute, and it just smells delicious. I'm gonna be like the most relaxed person on the planet. They sent some safety matches. Look how cute these matches are. I mean, it's almost like too cute to use, you know what I mean? They sent me some vegan chocolate Easter eggs with soft centre caramel. I mean, these won't last very long. They sent me a face mask, and then in the very bottom of the box was the actual book, which is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig, and I've never read a Matt Haig. And I think this looks great, and I think it might have come into my life at exactly the right time. So thank you very much, Cannon Gates. I really, really appreciate it, and it was a very exciting parcel to receive. It's the 21st of May and I am officially the world's worst vlogger. I haven't sat down and talked to the camera for what, 2 weeks at this point? I don't even know what B-roll footage I've got. You'll have just seen whatever I've put together from the few clips that I've taken. But I haven't felt like filming, and so I haven't. And now I have this giant stack of books next to me and I'm like, I might as well just do a traditional sit down wrap up at this point because I'm not really vlogging. So I'm sorry if this is not my best video. I'm having a bit of a depressive episode, I think is probably the best way to put it. As I mentioned in the last clip, you know, it's just really stressful right now and I haven't felt like creating. And work is very stressful and I'm very well supported at work and I'm really lucky for the team that I work with, but there's just a lot happening and yeah, I don't know. This is why I also haven't been filming. I can't really string a sentence together very well. However, today so let's catch you up on some stuff that's happened since I last spoke to you. So what did we even do? I can't remember what clips I filmed. We went to see my mum and her puppies last weekend, which was really lovely. I will definitely put some footage in of that. I did a massive clothing order. I've been trying out the what is it, Charlotte talks about it sometimes, about like dressing brightly to cheer yourself up, basically. There's a phrase for it and I now for some reason can't remember what it is. So I did a massive next order, and I also got another Stitch Fix order, which is where this beautiful dress is from. You obviously can't see it properly, but it's this beautiful cotton, blue cotton, and it's mid-length, but it's got quite a big slit up the side so it feels shorter, and it's super comfortable. And yes, I'm gonna be wearing this a lot this summer. So I did that. Today we took my grandma to Bristol and took her shopping and got her a few things and sorted out. And other than that, I've just been working, sleeping, occasionally reading a little bit. I've got 3 books that I finished reading. 1 book I treated myself, and then I've been very, very spoiled by publishers in the last 2 weeks. I feel terrible because I haven't filmed myself opening any of it. And also at the time of posting this, I haven't posted about them on Instagram or anything yet to say thank you. So I need to sort that out. It's on my list for this weekend. But I just wanted to film this clip before I get into my comfies, basically. So I also had a gift come through, which was amazing from my wish list. And it was these like teeny tiny bookmarks. They're magnetic ones, and they've all got different little sayings on them. That's definitely cat hair. And this was the box they came in. But they, I put them on my wish list because I want to give them out to my year 7s at the end of next term, as their like end of term present, because obviously what else is the English teacher going to give them but a bookmark? Oh, here's Molly and Jack's up there, so if you can hear padding around, that's what it is. So they're so cute, and there's, you know, 30 odd of them, so that's really exciting. But there was no name on the gift note. There was no gift note. Now Molly's scratching her scratching post. We'll wait. Okay, you done? She's like, yeah, I'm done. So thank you to whoever that was, and if that was you, please comment and let me know. I have asked on Twitter and Instagram and nobody's kind of come forward, but thank you so much for that. It was so incredibly kind, and I'm going to be, just drop them, I'm going to be really excited to give them out to the kids at the end of next term. So that was that one. And then books that I have finished reading, so we're going obviously in order that I've read them. First one was Agatha Christie, The 13 Problems. This one, Leanne from Literary Diversions gifted me for Christmas. She's a massive Agatha Christie fan, and I've started reading the Miss Marple books. I much prefer Miss Marple to Poirot, and she gifted me this for Christmas. And it's sort of a short story collection because it's Miss Marple and a few other people basically gathered around the fireplace telling stories, and each story is told to the group with the hope that the group will come up with the answer. And I thought this was really fun. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a bit repetitive. Sorry, windows are open. Thought it was a little bit repetitive, but it was entertaining and I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoy, like I said, Marple more than Poirot. I haven't filmed for weeks and you can really tell. But yes, 4 stars from me. Then I also read Kansuki's Kingdom by Michael Morpago. This was recommended to me, no, I thought it was going to come then. This was recommended to me by my lovely year 7s who read it at primary school. This is about a boy called Michael who is on his parents' boat one day in the ocean. They're on a big adventure and he falls overboard with his dog Stella Artois, and he washes up on an island, and it's about what happens from there. I really enjoyed this. I went in with low expectations. I've read other Morpago books. What else have I read? Why the Whales Came and Warhorse, and they've always been, you know, okay. I've enjoyed them. This one I can see why the kids liked it, and I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really beautifully done, really gently done. There's a good level of like peril, but not too much for the age group, and it's got a really lovely message at the end of it. So yeah, 5 stars from me. I enjoyed that one. And then I read The Favour by Nora Murphy. This is an ARC that I got from Book Break. It comes out in June, which is why it was on my May TBR. And I don't want to tell you too much. I read the back in my TBR video, which I'll leave linked in the description. And basically you've got 2 women who don't know each other. One of them sees something through the window of the other one's house one day and basically steps in, and it's about coercive control, it's about abusive relationships, it's about appearance versus reality, and one of them kind of does something, as I said, like steps in one day, and it goes from there. I really enjoyed the first 50 pages and I got really hooked. Then I got slightly bored in the middle, and by the end I didn't really care. And I say this a lot with thrillers, and this is very much domestic thriller.
it was a lot of horrible people doing horrible things to each other, and I was a bit like, I don't really care what happens to any of you. I think it was definitely an interesting look at domestic abuse and coercive control, but it felt a little bit repetitive again. It felt a little bit rich white women and their problems. Yeah, I don't know. I think it could have been a lot more nuanced than it was. It's a debut. I would read more from the author, but this one didn't quite work for me. So this was, I think I gave it a 3. It was either a 3 or a 4. I think it was probably a 3. It's been a couple of weeks. So yeah, that was that one. And then there was a book I bought myself, which doesn't add to my TBR because it's a book I already read but didn't have a copy of, and that is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osmond. This is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club series. The first one is just slightly out of shot, and I read the hardback that my lovely mother-in-law kindly bought and lent to me, but I wanted my own copy. So when it came out paperback, I grabbed it, and yeah, really happy to have that on my shelf. Would really recommend this series. I'm having a fab time. And then I got spoiled majorly by publishers. So I've already shown you, I think, yes I have, shown you the incredible parcel that Canongate sent me with the Comfort book by Matt Haig. That's amazing. And then I've just been contacted by a couple of different publishers recently, as well as Book Break. Book Break are the main ones I'm going to show you in a second. But I was also contacted by Chicken House, who offered me The End by Molly Morris. Oh, sorry, This Is Not The End by Molly Morris. And this just sounds really good. It says, ever since the sudden death of his parents, 17-year-old Hugh has developed a serious preoccupation with endings, one that gets a little complicated when he discovers that high school outcast Olivia Moon can't die. Hugh agrees to drive Olivia to New York to retrieve a crate of her most treasured possessions, stealing his sister's precious ice cream van in the process. But the road to NYC is bumpy and full of unexpected turns, including Hugh's growing feelings for Olivia. As the van hurtles towards the finishing line on an unforgettable road trip, Hugh has to face his ultimate fear. Unsatisfying, messy endings might just be an inevitable part of life. And yeah, this looks so good. And on the back for Chicken House books, they always like have a little thing to say what's in there. So the book in 3 words, or 3 phrases: funny, road trip, and adventure. And I was like, yes. They've also got a content warning on the back that says contain references to and images of suicide that some may find triggering. I love Chicken House for this reason. They always put content warnings on their books. And yeah, this is a finished copy, and I will definitely pick this up probably at some point in the summer. So I was so pleased to get that. So thank you so much, Chicken House. And then Book Break have properly spoiled me, like properly spoiled me in the last 2 weeks. I've had 2 packages from them that both made me squeal, and I do feel bad that I didn't film me opening them, but I knew what was in them and I couldn't wait until I felt like filming. So the first parcel casually had the new Casey McQuiston in it. This is I Kissed Shara Wheeler, and she wrote Red, White and Royal Blue, and what was the other one that she wrote? The one on the subway in New York. It's actually completely gone from my head. Oh, One Last Stop, very helpfully they put it on the back. And this is her new book. I don't even know anything about this. I don't really want to know anything about it, but I own it and I'm very excited to read it. And it came out on the 12th of May, so I need to read this soon. They also sent with it this amazing bookmark which says, to-do list, break the rules, get messy, find love in unexpected places. And yes, 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 yes please, thank you very much. So that was that. It also came with this, which is the press release, which was really fun. And it came with a Hex Before Marriage. And I'm not sure if it goes with this book or the other one, but anyway, very excited for this pin. So that was cool. And then the other book in that parcel was this stunning, stunning hardback of The Attic Child by Lola J. And again, I don't really know much about this at all. It just says 2 children separated by almost a century, bound by a secret. And as far as I know, it's historical fiction. And it says, Lola J has created a hauntingly powerful, emotionally charged and unique dual narrative novel about family secrets, love and loss, identity and belonging, seen through the lens of Black British history in The Attic Child. And like, I don't even really want to know loads more, but I was incredibly happy and excited to receive this, and I cannot wait to read it. Is this a debut? I feel like this is a debut. Yes, it's, oh no, she's written 6 novels and a self-help book, but this is her first epic historical novel. So yes, I'm excited for this. Very, very excited. I was just checking how big the text is, and because sometimes like it can be teeny tiny, but we're okay. So yes, incredibly excited and thankful for that. And then I got a parcel from Book Break. Well, I got an email from Book Break that I was like, I'm sorry, is this actually happening? So they send me, I'm very, very lucky because I'm a Book Break insider, to get an email every single month from them. Last Friday of the month, you get an email going, these are the books that we've got to offer and arcs and stuff. Do you want any of them? If you want any of them, you just request them and then they turn up. It's the most bizarre thing that it happens to me. So I'm like, aren't you supposed to send them to like actual creators? I don't know, my brain just can't quite take it in. So yeah, got an email, requested a couple of books. One of them that we were able to request was, you know, casually just Stone Blind by Natalie Hayes, which is incredibly exciting. This comes out in September, and it's a Medusa retelling, and I was like, yes, I need this in my life immediately. I've got 1,000 Ships, also by her, up on my TBR upstairs, which I should probably read before I pick this up, but can we talk about how beautiful this proof is? And it says on the front, are you feeling scared yet of the monstrous head with no heart? Perhaps you should. And again, I don't even really know anything about it, except that I want to read it. Look at this, like, seriously? It says, because I have nothing left to lose except my 2 sisters. This is Medusa's story, hashtag Stone Blind. Like, even holding this now, I'm getting even more and more excited. So that is a thing that's happening. It's a huge, like, American-sized paperback, because, like, this is a normal British paperback. And yeah, anyway, so I was very excited for that. And then one of the other books that we could just casually request is the new Emma Donoghue. I mean, what? And this is Haven. And again, don't know anything about it. Don't want to know anything about it, except that it's Emma Donoghue, who wrote The Pull of the Stars, who wrote, what's the other one she wrote that I love? The Wonder. She wrote Room. Like, everything I've read from her has been a 4 or 5 star. And this is very, very exciting, and it comes out in August. And like I said, I've not even really looked at the back. I was just like, yes, please. And then Book Break were like, oh, to go with your copy of Haven, do you want to request another Emma Donoghue book? We've got some like spares, or I don't know, we've got some others you can request, so would you like one? And I was like, yes, please. And lo and behold, Frog Music arrived with this and the Natalie Hayes book. I almost passed out from excitement. And this one is historical fiction written by Emma Donoghue. I am all about it. It's probably queer because it's Emma Donoghue, and just a bit overwhelmed. So that's my book update. Life is busy. I'm just about managing. I'm not managing to sit down in front of the camera. I haven't posted a BookTube video in 2 weeks as of now, which feels very weird. My brain's a bit all over the place. I'm not reading very much. I'm being completely spoiled by publishers, which is amazing. And yeah, the rest of the day I am going to curl up and read. I'm currently reading Mrs. England. I've been reading it for what feels like 500 years, and I can't work out if it's me or the book at the moment. I'm about 100 pages from the end, and the rating is going to entirely depend on the last 100 pages. So we'll see how that goes, and I will obviously check in once I've read that. I'm sorry this has been a bit scattered, this clip, this vlog in general, but this clip has been a bit scattered, a bit rusty, but bear with. And if you sent me these amazing little bookmarks for my kids, please let me know so I can thank you properly. And yeah, let's hope I can get reading.
It's the 22nd of May. I look like a thumb, and last night I finished a book and I'm coming in all ready to wrap it up. Who am I? Maybe I'm getting back on track. I've got a really, really heavy cold today. I've taken a COVID test that's negative. It needs to stay that way because I have big plans for the half-term holiday, which is the week after next, and they do not involve being at home with COVID. I'm also wearing, this is something else I bought from Next, these brilliantly obnoxious pyjamas. I was sized up because I think pyjamas, well, the point of pyjamas is to be comfortable. And they're this really thin cotton, so I'm going to basically wear them all summer, and the bottoms match the top, so yes. I'm like a walking cartoon character in them, which I kind of love. And I got my hairband on today. My hair is so short now that I can't like pull it back off my face very easily. I'm sorry about the sniffing. So a hairband is a must. So I finished reading Mrs. England by Stacey Halls, which the lovely Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin gifted me for my birthday, I want to say. It must have been my birthday. Yes, it was my birthday. And I think this might be my last Stacey Halls book. I think I'm done. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go and blow my nose because, you know, cold. And then if the angle looks different, it's because my phone decided to fall over. Anyway, we are following Ruby, who is a Norland nanny. She goes to a posting with the England family and something is not quite right with Mrs. England, and it's about her trying to work out what's going on, and we're also unravelling mysteries from Ruby's past. And I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed the setup, I enjoyed the first 50 pages, and then I just got bored. And I think it was because if we'd known what was going on with Ruby like earlier than we do, I think I would have cared a lot more. But because I didn't really know what was going on, I was like, I'm not sure why I'm supposed to care about this. I also felt like there was quite a lot left kind of unsaid, and I was also a little bit confused about halfway through who was who, because there were suddenly a lot of characters. So yeah, this beautiful book, I mean, it is stunning. Like, this cover is just ridiculous. It's not going to stay in my collection because I only gave it a 3, and I'm really sorry, but I don't keep 3-star books. So yeah, this wasn't quite for me, and I think it's going to be my last Stacey Halls. I think I am done with this author. It's the 27th of May and I've had flu all week. I've literally woken up feeling marginally less rubbish today. I'm starting to like climb back into my body. But yeah, I've not been that ill. Well, since I had COVID last month. I've taken multiple COVID tests and it wasn't that. But yeah, I've just felt awful. I was off sick work Monday, decided to drag myself in Tuesday, almost passed out whilst teaching, and was then told by my boss to go home and not come back until I was better. So I've been off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I've talked before about the guilt that comes with being a teacher and being off work, and it's just unreal, especially at the end of term, because I've missed assessments, I've missed seeing my kids and like celebrating the end of term with them and all that stuff. So yeah, it's not been a great week. However, I am starting, sorry, I'm still a bit sniffly. I am starting to feel a little bit better. And we are due to go and see Ed Sheeran in Cardiff tomorrow with Charlie, which will be his first gig. So yeah, I'm just trying to like rest loads so that I've got the energy for that. And then on Monday, I am off to Scotland, which I've not said out loud yet. I'm going to Edinburgh on Monday for my trip with Leanne and Harry, which got cancelled because of last month's COVID. So that's exciting. So yeah, I'm just kind of resting. But I have been reading a bit. I've got 3 books I finished. One that I was mediocre about, one that I loved, and one that I low-key hated. I've also got a couple of gifts to show you as well. So let's start with the books that I've finished reading. Am I going to sneeze? I hope not. No, I think we're okay. Maybe. Let's find out. Anyway, the first book that I finished was One by One by Ruth Weir. This was very kindly sent to me for Christmas by the wonderful Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. This is a kind of And Then There Were None retelling by Agatha Christie, which is a book that I read last year or the start of this year. Loved it. I actually think it might be earlier this year. Absolutely loved it. And as it says in the front, a luxury chalet, the opportunity of a lifetime until guests start to disappear. And basically you've got a company who are doing like a retreat thing for a week or a weekend or something. And then there's an avalanche that happens. Sorry, the retreat is in the mountains. It would help if I could speak today. It's like a ski resort. It is a ski resort. And then people start dying and it kind of goes from there. This was quite mediocre for me. I really liked the start and the setup, and I love a like closed in mystery, but the problem with it was that it's a tech company who go on this retreat, and there was so much like tech talk that I just didn't care about. And also, and I say this all the time with thrillers, but it was like horrible people doing horrible things and I just didn't really care.
There was also a plot twist that I thought was blindingly obvious. I thought it was so obvious what was happening. And yeah, it was alright. Entered in my brain while I was poorly. But it was only a 3-star from me. So yeah, that wasn't the best thing ever. Then I had my reread for the month, which is far more successful, and that was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This was her debut, and I read it years ago. And then I always say it's one of my favourite books, but I haven't read it for ages. So I picked it up as my reread for the month. And this is the story of Achilles and his relationship with Patroclus, something like that. Told from Patroclus's, I don't know, his perspective. And I'm not going to tell you any more than that. I feel like if you haven't read this already, you should. Don't be put off by the fact that it's described as literary fiction. It is literary fiction, but it's so incredibly readable. Madeline Miller's got this incredibly accessible, interesting, engaging writing style. I've given it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars last time. I'm giving it 5 stars again. The end made me sob. Like the last, it's not even like the last chapter. The last few chapters, I was just steadily crying all the way through them. Which is partly probably because I was feeling so pants at the time, but also her writing is just incredible. So yes, 5 stars for that one. And then an audiobook, which is why I've got it written down on a post-it note, that I hated, to be honest, was I Heart Hollywood by Lindsay Kelk. As you'll know from the start of this video, I read I Heart New York mostly last month, but like finished it off in this month, and quite enjoyed it. It was fun. I gave it 4 stars, loved the audiobook. Saw that the next one was unscribed and thought, yeah, I'll pick it up. In the first one, we are following Angela, who finds her fiance having sex with someone else in the back of their car at her best friend's wedding, and her reaction to this is to pack her things and go to New York spontaneously. And I really, like I said, really enjoyed the first book. And I can't get too much into the specifics of the second one because spoilers, and just because I didn't like it doesn't mean other people won't enjoy it, so I don't want to spoil it for other people. But we're in the second book, and Angela is in Los Angeles, which is why it's called I Heart Hollywood. And there were so many things that were problematic. And these books are a few years old. I think the first one came out in 2009, so this probably came out in like 2010, 2011. But the fat phobia was on a different level in this one. There was a little bit of it in the first book, but the fat phobia and the diet culture was just super annoying. There was also a character who used the F slur to describe a gay character, and that was never dealt with, really. There was also quite casual discussions of cheating that, again, were never really dealt with, and I really hated the attitude of the characters, particularly what happens to Angela in the first book. I was just like, really? And we've also got one of the main characters that I loved from the first book had a total personality transplant, and not in a good way. And so yeah, I was just kind of really frustrated and irritated, and I think if I'd been reading it physically I probably would have DNF'd. But I really enjoy the audiobook narrator. I'm going to look her up and find other stuff from her. So yeah, I gave this 2 stars. It was just not the one, and I'm done with that series. So yeah, there was that one. Okay, happier things. Presents. The lovely Marianne from Copper Books sent me, out of the blue, sweets. She said just a little treat to keep you going, and it's because I think I'd been like talking about how much marking I had to do, and so she sent me some Tony's Chocolonely and some candy kittens as like marking snacks, and also this really cool postcard which says on the front, Edvard Greg kept a frog figurine in his pocket at all times and would rub it before concerts for good luck, which is just so brilliantly random. I'm going to put that up in my room at school. So she sent me that, which was super lovely. And if I hadn't been waiting to film a clip when I could, you know, breathe whilst talking, these would probably have already been devoured because they've been sat in my like filming pile in my bedroom. And then a couple of days ago this arrived. So that's exciting. No idea what it is. Don't know who it's from. So let's find out. I've been waiting to open it on camera because I'm trying to be better. Yeah, this is good. I'm trying to be better at like opening stuff so that you guys can see me open it. Let's do this in a very annoying way. Right. Let's find a gift note first. That's receipt. Ah, from Joe and Alfie, read this one and really enjoyed it. Hope you're doing okay. It's nearly half term and you can have a well-deserved rest. From Joe and Alfie. Thank you so much. What is it? What is it? What is it? I still can't see what it is. Oh, Prison Doctor. I've just seen it in the viewfinder. Oh, how exciting. Prison Doctor Women Inside. Stories from my time inside women's biggest Britain's biggest women's prison. I read the first one, this is Dr. Amanda Brown, last year, and then this is the follow-up. This is exciting because I flew through the first one. So yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to very much enjoy this. I might read this and eat a bit of Tony's chocolonely and wait for the boys to get back because Charlie's coming for half term, which is very exciting. It's 29th of May and as you'll have seen from the b-roll, we had the best time last night. It was incredible. I have missed live music so much. We were at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, and I think I already said in the previous clip, but it was Charlie's first big gig, and so his eyes were like saucers the whole time, and Ed Sheeran put on the most incredible show. Considering that for the majority of it he was alone on stage, it was just ridiculous. Like, the showmanship that man has got was amazing, and he was doing songs from all of his albums, so yeah, it was just incredible, and I'm so glad we went. Didn't get home till 2 in the morning because even though Cardiff is only an hour and a half from where we live, getting out of Cardiff was just insane last night. Sorry, I'm not sitting very comfortably. So it was a very late night, which means it's been a slow day today, as you can probably hear in my voice. So yeah, and as you can see, I've packed my bags for Edinburgh, so we've got further than we did last time. And hopefully I'm going tomorrow. I keep saying hopefully because I keep worrying that something's going to stop it from happening. But bags are packed. My alarm is set for 3:45 in the morning. Youch. Flights at 7, have to be there 2 hours before for checking keys and stuff. So that means leaving here at 4:45, which means a 4:15 leaving the house. Which means getting up at 4:45 in the morning. But I know it'll be worth it when I get there. So I have a book to talk about, which I finished yesterday, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers by Bibi Alston. This was gifted to me by the lovely Laura from Laura and Her Bookish Thoughts. It's got sprayed edges, it's so pretty. And everyone and their dog has read this in the last year or so since it came out and absolutely loved it. And I can see why. We are following Amari. She's 12. Her brother's been missing for about a year. She's convinced that it's something to do with his job because he had this weird, like, mysterious job. Everyone else thinks he's dead. She's convinced that he isn't. And her kind of quest to find where he is leads her into this world. And it's basically, I've heard it compared to like a cross between Men in Black and Nevermore. Why did that take so long to come into my brain? And I can definitely see why. This is supernatural, this is magical, this is like alternative world. It's so much fun. She has to pass like 3 trials to be accepted into this world, much like Nevermore. And yeah, it was just so fun. I really enjoyed being in Amari's head and following her. I enjoyed exploring the world with her. I can't wait for the second book. It comes out later this year, so I will definitely be picking that up. Although it doesn't come out in paperback until the start of 2023, and I might wait because I have this paperback. I might wait for the second one in paperback. But anyway, that's bookish problems for later in the year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've given it 4 stars rather than 5, only because I felt like it was lacking a little bit of world building. I didn't always have a complete grip on where we were. But it's the start of a trilogy or start of a series, so I'm sure more of that will follow. And I thoroughly enjoyed this, would highly recommend it. I can see why everyone has loved it so much. So yeah, that was the next book I finished. 4 stars, loved it. Thank you so much, Laura, for sending me this copy. I think I will probably finish one more book today, but I won't sit and talk to you about it until I'm in my hotel room in Edinburgh. In terms of vlogging for Edinburgh, I'm not going to do like what I would call like a talky vlog, because I just want to relax and have fun and enjoy my time with Leanne and Harry and Jean and all of the bookish hijinks we have planned. But I'm going to do what I did when I did the Explore Bath With Me vlog, which I know is not like the smoothest thing ever, but I'm really proud of that little video. And that was kind of a trial run for Edinburgh, so I'm going to do a similar thing where I'll just take clips as and when I feel like it, and then put some nice music under it and share it in a couple of weeks. Just so mostly so I've got a record for me, but also because I know you guys will want to see what we get up to, so I'm going to do that. But there will be a wrap-up clip for this wrap-up, which I will film in a couple of days when I get to Edinburgh. I thought about cutting this month short and just doing a wrap-up clip now, but I've got like 2 full reading days, well 3 including today, like 2.5 reading days left in the month, and my completionist brain just wants to do it right. So next time you see me, hopefully I will be in my hotel room in Edinburgh. And I made it to Edinburgh. I am literally living my best life right now. The only fly in the ointment is that Gary's not here. Like, it's the only downside. I also think I was wearing this jumper in the opening clip to this vlog, so there we go. Yeah, I'm in Edinburgh. I've shown you like a tiny percentage of the clips that I've taken, because obviously I'm going to do a separate Edinburgh vlog. So you've just seen a little bit of like my travels and a few things that we were up to yesterday, and yeah, it's been such a great time. I had a super stressful experience at Bristol Airport, like my god, like, and unnecessarily so. I still can't work out why it was as bad as it was, because there were no extra like security protocols or COVID protocols or anything like that, but it took me 4 hours basically to get through. And my plane took off at 7:05, and at 7:10 I was still in security, so that was fun. They wouldn't or couldn't let me through any quicker, so at 7:02 I got through and looked at the board, and my gate was gate 13, and if you know Bristol Airport, that is the furthest possible point from security, so I literally had to sprint. And as you'll know, if you've been watching my content for any length of time, or if you know me at all, I am not a runner, so that was fun. Thankfully I decided to upgrade my cabin bag and have a bag in the hold, so at least I wasn't carrying that as well, because that probably would have finished me off. But I basically arrived at the gate, and the woman there thought I was having an asthma attack because I was like hyperventilating so badly. Got on the plane, last person on the plane, and then we sat on the tarmac for 20 minutes because there was a queue for the runway, and I was just like really glad I almost died running here. Brilliant, love that for me. The flight itself was actually really easy. I am an anxious flyer. I don't enjoy flying. I hate takeoff and landing. I I just find the whole thing quite stressful. But actually, after such a stressful morning, the flight was, I was like, I don't care at this point, like, I am letting go of that stress. So yeah, that was okay. And then Leanne was there when I got there. Like, I walked through, like, you saw the Welcome to Edinburgh sign, and like I walked through and she was right there, and like one of the best hugs ever. So yes, but obviously spent loads of time with her and Harry, and I met all her animals and hung out in the house. And then yesterday we went to Edinburgh with Jean, which was just so much fun, and went to all the bookshops, which I will talk about in just a second because choices were made. And then we went to Mum's for dinner, which was amazing. If you come to Edinburgh, you have to go to Mum's. It's comfort food, that's all they sell is comfort food, and I had like one of the best macaroni and cheeses of my entire life, followed by a banana split, which I ate so fast I didn't even take a clip of. And I also had a Tia Maria and chocolate milkshake, which I would 10 out of 10 recommend. So yeah, we had a brilliant time. We were there for like 4 hours, it was brilliant. And Harry joined us, and Jean's boyfriend Chris, and her flatmate Jill, and it was just like, these were people that I'd met, like, well, I'd met Jean that day, technically met Leanne and Harry in person the day before, and I met Jill and Chris that day. And usually it takes me a while because I'm introverted, but I was just really comfortable immediately, and just, yeah, it was a good time. My hotel, I'm just in a Premier Inn, really comfortable, clean, a little bit noisy, but that's fine. Yeah, and today, having a slow start, it's now about 11ish, and I've only just like dragged myself out of that bed and into the shower and got dressed, which is fine because we've not really got any plans today. Leanne's gonna pick me up in a bit. We're gonna go get some food. There's been a lot of food, which I'm very happy about. And then Leanne and I are gonna film, which will be really funny. So obviously you won't see that in this video, but there will be videos. There's gonna be one on her channel and one on mine. And we're gonna film together, which will be really interesting because we film in very different ways. So I'm sure that will be an experience. And then tonight, Harry's gonna join us, like once he's finished work, and then I think we're having like fancy cheese and crackers and stuff, which sounds really good, and playing board games. And then that's, what day is today? Wednesday. And then Thursday we're going back into Edinburgh. Me, Harry and Leanne are going back into Edinburgh just for a little bit more of like a kind of a touristy mooch, I think, and then I fly home Friday. Anyway, that will be in next month's wrap up. Actually, it probably won't be. It'll be in my Edinburgh vlog because I very much doubt, with my reading pace over the last couple of days, I doubt I will finish any books whilst I'm here, any more books. But I have finished 2 that I need to talk about, and then I have some books to show you, and then I need to wrap up the wrap up. So the first one, I've got a little post-it notes here because I will never remember. So I finished just before I went to bed on Sunday night, I finished Brown Girl Like Me by Jaspreet Kaur, which I was really kindly sent by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. And it's non-fiction, written obviously by Jaspreet, who is talking about what life is like as a brown girl, and that's the phrasing that she uses in the book, so that's the phrasing I'm going to use in my review. And she's just looking at all the different things that brown women struggle with, and kind of looking at taboos like sex and periods and working and marriage and all of that kind of stuff. I found it really interesting. I gave it 4 stars. I think it will be super useful for young people. Obviously I'm not an Own Voices reviewer. I thought her writing style was really engaging, really interesting. A lot of it though was just like referring to other stuff, so she was like talking about other books or like other resources rather than like talking about her own thoughts. I thought it was a little bit like, oh, you should go and look at this or look at that, and I was a bit like, but I'm reading your book, I want to know what you think. So I think that's the only reason I didn't give it 5, but I did really enjoy it. Like I said, it was really easy to read and engaging, and I will definitely be putting it in my school library. So thank you very much to Book Break for that. So that was a 4-star. And then I finished last night The Mad Women's Ball by Victoria Mass, which I picked up because I knew I'd seen someone talking about it, and then Jean asked me yesterday what I was reading. I said this, and she's like, oh, I love that, and it reminded me that it was her that I saw talking about it, so thank you, Jean. And this is 5 stars. I absolutely loved this. Sorry if you can hear background noise, the cleaners are very noisily going about their day. So we are in Paris in 1885 at an asylum, and we are following 2 characters. We're following the matron, on the women's ward, and we are following Eugenie, who is put into the asylum by her family, and it's all revolving around the Mad Woman's Ball, which happens once a year. And that is all I'm going to say, because that's all I knew going in. That's all you need to know. It's really, really short. It's translated French fiction, and I thought it was incredible. The things it has to say about mental health, about women, about feminism, about the way people were treated and unfortunately are still treated, I just thought was incredible, and I will definitely look for more. I think this is her debut, I think, but I'm definitely going to look into it. So yes, highly, highly recommend this one. Really enjoyed it, 5 stars. And look how stunning this cover is. I really want the hardcover copy as well now. Like, this is probably going to go into my permanent collection. So highly recommend that one. I've already been talking for 7 minutes, which is a problem because I bought 13 books yesterday. 13 books. Yep. Choices were made. Thankfully, my lovely mum gave me money for book shopping. When I was supposed to come last time, she gave me 100 quid. So I spent that, and then I spent a bit more. But that's okay. This is my last like big book blowout of the year. I think I've said this before. I'm going to close my wish list in August, which is my birthday month, and set up a Just Giving page, because you lovely people have spoiled me the last couple of birthdays, which is incredible, and I've like had the best time opening it all and reading it all each time. But I feel like, especially right now, and I'm going to tell you how big my TBR is in a minute when we do a wrap up, like the wrap up to the wrap up, like my TBR is at a point where I genuinely don't need any more books, and I feel like I would rather, if we can, like raise some money and help some other people, then that would be really cool. So this is gonna be my last like big book injection until Christmas, luckily. So although 2 of them don't count because they're just copies of books I've already read, because that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do with your life. These are in literally no order, and I'm gonna go really quickly because the video that I'm filming with Leanne today is a book haul, so you can go and see that. Like, it won't be up by the time this goes up, but Leanne will be linked below, so you can obviously easily find it. And this, like I said, this is in no particular order. So I'm not going to say which like bookshops apart from the first one because I can't remember, but we went to like all the indie bookshops in Edinburgh yesterday, and suffice to say I did my bit to support them. So in Golden Hair Books, they had these mystery date with a book parcels, and this was the last bookshop that we went into, and I wanted to buy something from there because it was just this really cool shop, and I've never done one of these before, and I thought this would be the time to do it. And it says on the label, eerie short stories drawing on all things gothic, horror and folklore by some of the finest BIPOC writers. You may want to keep the lights on after reading it. And I'm not going to open this yet because I'm going to open it whilst filming later, so see if you can guess, like, any guesses on what this is, because I genuinely have no idea. So there was that one. I've then got some random historical non-fiction. Roaring Girls by Holly Kite. Awesome cover. One that Leanne forced into both mine and Jean's hands is The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker. Again, really intriguing cover, thriller. We all 3 of us picked this one up because Jean read the back and Leanne was like, yep, and then I was like, yep, so hopefully we're going to read this together. The Woman in the Purple Skirt by Nasuku Imamura. I'm hoping I've said that right. Not heard anyone talk about this, but it sounds really intriguing, and it's a stalker narrative, I think. Then another book. This was a book I really wanted. I had 2 of the books in this, or 3 of the books in this stack. I was like, if I see those, I'm going to grab them. And this is one of them. This is Cecily by Annie Garthwaite. I've heard really good things about this. I'm really excited for it. This is historical fiction, and I'm just intrigued. This is a book that Charlotte picked up when we were in Oxford, and I know that Leanne's read it as well, and they both really enjoyed it, and I'm fascinated by this topic. So I've picked up A Curious History of Sex by Kate Lister. I feel like I've read a Kate Lister before, possibly have, or I've just heard the other 2 talking about it so much. Another fantastic cover. And yeah, some more random non-fiction. Then I've got a book that I've been side-eyeing for a while and couldn't decide if I wanted to. I let the hype die down, and then I kept looking at it, and Leanne was like, if you keep looking at it, you should probably get it. So I did, and that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know, I'm either going to love this or hate this. I've only read 6 of Crows, which I was bored by, but I feel like this might be more my speed, so we'll see. One of the others that I was definitely wanting to pick up while I was here, didn't know it was out in paperback, so that was exciting, and if I love it, I will buy the hardback. And that's Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. This has been all over the Booktuber's. As the more I've had people talk about it, the more I've been like, I need to read this book, and now I own it. I do prefer the hardcover cover but we'll see. Like I said, if I love it, I will buy a hard copy. And then 2 books that don't add to my TBR because they're books that I've already read and loved, but they're classics, always have really rubbish covers, I think. And they are The Turn of the Screw by Henry James and Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. These are Alma Classics, I think. Yeah, Alma Classics. And they were buy one, get one free in one of the bookshops, I can't remember. But I really, really like these covers, and they, like I said, they're usually classics that have really ugly covers, so that was exciting. A book that I picked up totally at random was Asexual Myths and Tales by Elizabeth Hopkinson. I am exploring more about asexuality, let's put it like that, and this looked like an interesting way to do it, so yeah, picked up this one. I also picked up a book that I've been really excited for, and I now can't remember if I've requested it from a publisher. So at some point I might end up with 2 copies of this, but I saw it yesterday and grabbed it because I was like, yes, I've wanted to read that. And that is Lear Wife by J.R. Thorpe. Again, like so many beautiful covers at the moment, like obsessed. And then the last one, this was the only one that I definitely wanted to get whilst in Edinburgh, and I was like, even if I only come away with 1 book, it's going to be this one book, as if that was going to happen. How naive can you be? And that is Gallant by Ve Schwab. I have been wanting to read this for a while. So many people that I trust who loved Addie LaRue have also loved this one, and yes, I really wanted to pick this one up. It doesn't have the pretty sprayed edges because I wasn't quick enough, but I'm very excited to give this a try. So those are, I'm just trying to find my notebook so we can do the wrap up now. Those are the 13 books, the whistle stop tour through the 13 books that I bought yesterday. And we are going back into Edinburgh tomorrow, and we're going to go to Waterstones and Toppings. So will there be more books? You'll have to tune into June's wrap up to find out. Anyway, let's finish this because I've now been going for like nearly 15 minutes. So number of books read this month. I've read 12 books, which really surprised me when I like looked back at it. I was like, really? Because I felt like it's been kind of a meh month, but I think it's been a meh month mentally, really. So 12 books read, which is good. I've read 3,943 pages, which is 128 per day, which is a bit low, but it's indicative of being poorly, working, feeling a bit pants, so that's fine. Average star rating is 3.91, and I think that's why I felt a bit meh about my reading this month, because that's not great. My usual reading months, it's usually above a 4, so 3.91. I know it's only just under, but my favourite read of the month, and I can't find, is going to this book. I had... So for 5-star reads, I had The Tainted Queen, which was the Catherine Howard story. I had Kansuki's Kingdom. I had Song of Achilles, but that was a reread. And I had this, and this is definitely my favourite one. I've only just... Oh, I've got hiccups now. I've been talking too much. I've only just finished it, but I just have this feeling that this is going to be one that like lingers. Plus I want the hardcover, and that's usually the sign that, you know, I've loved a book. But I need to wait because I've just bought all the books. So yes, this was my favourite read of the month. My most disappointing, I'm going to preface this again, I say this like every month, but if I don't say it, I get comments from people going, but that wasn't your lowest rated book. No, my most disappointing I choose is not necessarily my lowest rated. My lowest rated book of the month was the 2 stars that I gave to I Heart Hollywood. And the more I think about the book, the more I think that 2 is quite generous. But anyway, my most disappointing read is what it says on the tin. It's the book that I thought was going to be really great, and it fell short. And so for me this month it had to be Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. I was just really disappointed by it, and like I said, I am done with the author, I think. I posted my review on Bookstagram, and incidentally, if you want more content from me, I'm very active on Bookstagram and Twitter, which are always linked in the description. I post every single review. I post a review for every single book on Bookstagram as I'm reading, and I posted my review, and like so many people were like, oh, I love that one. I was like, good, I'm so glad you did, like that's brilliant, but it just fell completely flat for me. So yeah, I'm not at all saying like she's a terrible author or anything like that. I'm so glad other people are enjoying her, but for me, like, no, I'm out. I just clearly do not vibe or click with her writing. And then my TBR is now at the highest point it has been since the start of the year. It's now 78 books, because I have no self-control. So there's that. But I think I said this last month, because like originally I think in my intentions I was like, I want to get my TBR down to under 50, and it's just not realistic. I think I need to keep it under 100. I do not want to cross into triple figures. But yeah, 78. Better do some reading next month, huh? So that is the end of my whiffly waffly May wrap up. It's been another weird month, but thank you for sticking around and sticking with me. If you got to this point in the video, what should we have? Let's have a bed emoji, because this is so comfy. Like, it's such a comfortable bed, it's so hard to get out of. So yeah, if you got to this point in the video, whack in a bed emoji in the comments so that I know you made it all the way through. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I know it's been a weird month. June will probably be just as weird, because it's going to be a very, very intense teaching month. But that's a problem for later on. Anyway, please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.